Hello, everybody. This is Milesluigi in the flesh with the sky backdrop. It's new. It's a face cam. Yes, it's goodness. Joining me today without face cam, though, is...
Nobody that you know of. This is the Evilpoptart.
And Higsby. Wow, all three of us back together for the first time in forever.
It has been a while, so at the end of this video, for those who stick around, I'll just go over a quick update regarding my absence on YouTube and Twitch, but for right now, just figured we ought to do just a quick rundown of Nintendo's E3 Direct, because there was a lot of good things there. As with a lot of E3 Directs, it was also a lot of, here's this game, here's that game, and okay. And then there's also the big boom things, and as I understand, Evilpoptart, you don't know anything that was announced, do you?
Nope, I don't know Jack Diddley Squat, and I haven't watched it, spoiled it, done anything. So this is dry run, I guess. I don't know.
Okay, so right now I have a article pulled up from Forbes that I'm just going to follow along that kind of goes in the order of things that were revealed on the Direct, and basically I'll give my thoughts, and we'll also get your guys' thoughts on the matters as well. So the Direct started with a new Luigi's Mansion game.
Luigi's Crack House? Okay.
Yes, and it looks like it's going to be a little bit different from the Dark Moon game that came out on 3DS. It looks like it's actually a true sequel, this time Luigi going to a hotel, although it's still called Luigi's Mansion. I'm kind of curious how the story plays out. It looks pretty fun. I will probably pick it up unless, like, the day it comes out, reviews comes out, and, like, Nintendo botched it. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it definitely looks like a mix of the first two games, where the artistic style definitely follows Dark Moon. Well, from what we hear, hopefully it's kind of more of an open exploration of the building as number one was. It definitely doesn't look like there's too much, compared. We've seen stuff about Luigi's Mansion 3 already. I'm surprised actually that they don't have the subtitle ready. Because, of course, the second one was also advertised as Luigi's Mansion 2 before it was eventually called Dark Moon. But, yeah, it will be interesting to see just what the game is like. I'm definitely going to pick it up. I'm not a fan of... I definitely prefer the Luigi's Mansion 1 style compared to the second one, but hopefully it's still a good game.
Well, on that
Any
note,
thoughts?
how do you even update it? Because Luigi's Mansion 1 was kind of... It's GameCube era, so, how do you live up to that?
Let's see, it's so strange. I have a comparison of this coming out, and in Luigi's Mansion 1, it's supposed to be a spooky game. You're in a haunted mansion. When you enter a room, the rooms are actually dark. And the flashlight is your source of light, and it feels like a spooky game. But in Luigi's Mansion 2, and now what it's looking like for Luigi's Mansion 3, it's like the rooms are already lit up when you enter them. So all that kind of spooky element and the atmosphere that the first game did so well is just non-existent, and I'm not sure why they decided to do that.
I see that
Okay.
as I'm watching it. The rooms have a backlight to them. They're not completely dark.
Once again, I'm looking forward to it. I will almost certainly pick it up. It's not a game I'll pre-order, though. I guess I'll rely on Higsby to let me know how that's working out. So, moving forward, I'm not sure if anyone really has any thoughts on the next game here. Oh, hi.
It's called Wife Hack.
Okay. So, all right, we're back. So just a brief little thing that happened in between the next games is a game called The Dark Crystal: Age of Resistance Tactics. Not really a game I'm looking forward to. So if either of you have thoughts, if not, we'll move forward.
A common trend of this Direct was definitely games that were not first party, and I think when you watch a Nintendo Direct, especially the E3 Direct, you really want to see those first party games, and I feel like this Direct definitely didn't deliver very well in that regard. So I think that left me, as well as quite a few other people, kind of disappointed. It did some things right, but it felt like there was a lot of third-party filler that I don't think too many people are too worried about.
Mm-hmm. Any thoughts, Evilpoptart? If not, we'll move to the next game, which is pretty exciting.
I guess why revive an old movie and turn it into a game? The movie is dated, and I don't think that this generation knows even what the fuck that movie is. It's
You know, I think I need to watch this movie because I don't think I've ever seen it.
It's
The Dark Crystal, dang.
yeah,
Wow.
it's based off of it's basically puppetry, but it's the name's escaping me right now. But yes,
Hell dang. I'm adding that to my movie list. Moving ahead, Nintendo then showed footage regarding the Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening remake they are making on the Nintendo Switch, and it looks adorable. And it's a remake, so I don't have too much else to say other than it looks adorable. So
Did,
I will probably end up picking it up.
did either of you play the original?
yes.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
fantastic. It's something I've been thinking of replaying for a while, so this is just the perfect excuse. Yes, I like the art style. It's very cute. So, yeah, and hopefully we get Ages and Seasons remakes at some point too. That'd be awesome. But this is really cool.
I mean, looking at the art style, I don't know if I'm a fan of it actually.
Mhm.
I'm gonna be kind of. I'd have to see the gameplay and see how it plays out, but I mean, a little
I
too
understand.
cutesy for me.
Yeah, it's different, but I mean the Game Boy games already had kind of a more cartoony style than it felt like other games, Zelda games had, so I don't think it's too bad of a fit for it. I mean, if this was they were remaking Ocarina of Time with these graphics, I think no. But I don't think it's bad
It
for
would
the
be
Game Boy
another
game.
remake.
Yeah,
It would be yet another Ocarina of Time
yeah,
remake.
yeah, but you know what I mean.
I don't know. We'll have to see.
All right. We'll quick go through a couple of titles here. The next one that was shown was Trials of Mana, which looks like it's going to be a new, basically, Secret of Mana game. I know a couple of people who really, really, really were into Secret of Mana back in the day, so that's probably really exciting for them. But regretfully, I don't have much opinion because I haven't played the Secret of Mana games.
What?
What?
What is this blasphemy?
Everybody in the comments now tells me, Milesluigi, you must stream Secret of Mana.
I was playing Secret of Mana on the Super Nintendo and having a really good time until I started getting party members. And I was like, well, I was doing pretty well on my own. These people are kind of just here to annoy me. And then what happened is one of my party members got stuck around a corner, and you can't scroll the screen unless all of your party members are with you. And because of where they got stuck, I could not get back to get them unstuck because the camera wouldn't follow where I needed to go. So I had to turn the game off. I lost a whole bunch of progress and said, that's it. I'm done with this game. Party members ruined it.
I'm excited. I mean, I guess looking at that trailer, it's Square Enix. I mean, come on. I mean, it's gonna be totally. Well, they could screw it up. They could do it really good. I guess I'd have to wait and see. But I really do enjoy the original Secrets of Mana, and yes, you will have to be playing Secrets of Mana now. That is a demand.
Okay. All right, good to know. Next was a little bit more about Fire Emblem Three Houses. I do have a little bit of a history with the Fire Emblem series. Specifically, I really enjoyed playing the 3DS Fire Emblem games, Awakening and Fates. I actually bought all of the Fates games, and I enjoyed playing through all of them, although in retrospect, Fates was not necessarily the greatest game. In regards to Three Houses, interested, but a little bit cautiously optimistic because, well, I guess the best way to explain it is that the game's main premise is that, hey, you're playing as yet another avatar, and now you are now the teacher for a whole bunch of students. So I trust it'll probably be done right, but I'm still a little shaky on it, so I'll definitely let it come out before I try to purchase it.
When did the last Fire Emblem game come out?
The one before Three Houses was actually a remake of one of the really early NES Fire Emblem games. Fire Emblem Echoes is what it's called. I did not pick it up because it looked too different for me.
Huh.
It didn't look too interesting to me, but I'm sure it's probably fun to play. Just it didn't interest me.
Yeah, people who like Fire Emblem definitely frequently get new games to play, so it's a good series to be into, I suppose, if you're always looking for something to do.
Mm-hmm.
The trailer looks good. No gameplay video, all cinematics. Gonna
Yeah.
reserve my judgment for it because if some of you don't know, I've really never been into the Fire Emblem stuff, and it's just no. I got to see the gameplay, and if it continues along the same lines, I'm glad other people enjoy it, but it's not a game for me.
Mhm.
So no gameplay video in that
It's-
trailer. That's a no-no.
It's tactics RPG, so you move your units, the enemy moves their units, and like swords beat axes and stuff like that. So
I'm slightly familiar with it, but I mean, it's just not gameplay I'm interested in. So no gameplay trailer in it, just all cinematics. I'd be leery of it.
All right. So going through this list, it looks like a couple of remakes are coming for the Switch. So we'll go through these quick. Resident Evil 5 and 6 are coming to the Switch for people who like Resident Evil. Not my series, but if you like Resident Evil. Any thoughts?
Little late on the Switch, but sure, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I like the Resident
Okay.
Evil series, but I don't see myself playing it on a Switch. But
Okay. Next one is The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt Complete Edition. I have definitely seen like articles and discussions online saying The Witcher 3 was kind of like Breath of the Wild before Breath of the Wild. So not interested, but looks cool.
again, late to the party for the Switch on that. Everybody's played it. Everybody's beat it. Don't know how well that's going to go over on the Switch.
Okay. Higsby?
Yeah, probably not something I'm going to be picking up. So if you know, for people who like it, it's a good announcement. But for me, probably not too worried about it.
Okay. And then after that, we got an announcement for a new No More Heroes game, No More Heroes 3. I regretfully have to pass on this one because I haven't played any of the games, but once again, looks interesting.
I thought the trailer was really cool, and again, I think it's really neat that they're bringing that series back. I know someone who is a big fan of it, and yeah, I mean, I hope it's great.
Never played it. Never heard of it. I'm watching the trailer now. I don't know. I've never played it, so I can't make a judgment on it.
Okay. And then there was an announcement for Contra Rogue Corps. I remember watching the direct and being confused, being like, is this a new Contra game? Oh, I guess it is a new Contra game. So
It's basically the Federation Force of Contra. That was what I got from it.
So, yeah, maybe it wasn't necessarily the best trailer scene. As I watched it, I'm like, is that a Contra game? And it wasn't until, like, the music kicks in that's Contra music. Oh, I guess it is.
And then I think like after that trailer, there's like a 5-second little thing that's like there's also a Contra collection or something coming out. I feel like this direct didn't focus on the things it should have focused on, and instead just like kind of brushed past them and gave us way too much of things it should have not spent so much time on. I don't know. It was a weird direct all around, in my opinion. Until like the last 5 minutes, I feel like it picked up. But the beginning
We're
half an
getting
hour
there.
was weird.
We're getting there, Higsby. We're about halfway through the Forbes article summary, which is where I'm basing the kind of the flow of this discussion on.
Uh-huh.
Any thoughts, Evilpoptart? If not, I'll move on.
It's Konami. I'm gonna have to really have a disdain for Konami, but looking at it, it looks very weird. It seems thrown together. I mean, it's gonna be one of those party games. I think a lot of people might be disappointed in it. It looks like just a cheap, pretty quickly thrown together party game for your friends to even join if that would be possible. But it's Contra. I mean, and the fact that you're fighting aliens, and I don't know why there's a panda in it. Why is there a panda in it?
That's one of the things that made me question: is this actually a Contra game? It wasn't until I recognized the music that I realized it.
I mean,
So
the trailer looks okay, but I would say it looks rushed. They could have taken a better job on it. I don't know if it's just the trailer I'm currently watching, but it's a lot of repeat of certain shots, and it looks rushed. And it's Konami, so I have reasonable doubt. So I'm sorry.
fair point. Yeah, it is Konami, and Konami's had a kind of a bit of a bad reputation as of late, understandably.
Not only that, I mean, look what they did to the Metal Slug series. I mean, they totally raped that into nothing, and now they're trying to do it with the. I mean, I understand why they're bringing it back, because they had the Castlevania collection. Okay, I was really excited about that. Then I looked at what games are included in it. It's just a rehash. There's really nothing in there that's really, I gotta have it moment. And I thought I had to have it, but until I saw what it all came with, it was like, wait a minute, they just rehashed it and threw it in a package. I already have all those games. Why do I care? And I think it's going to be the same thing with the Contra.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. I don't really have much thoughts on the next game. It's Daemon X Machina, aka you're in a big robot game. So regretfully from me, that's a pass. Any thoughts?
I'm not a big mecha person, so probably gonna pass.
I have no idea what this is, so I'm kind of flipping through it right now. Okay, so it's a Gundam kind of thing. I mean,
I have a cat.
meow. I mean, okay, it looks kind of interesting. I'd like to see the interface of the Gundam though. But yeah,
Hmm.
it's. I mean, I was a big fan of Mech Warrior back in the day. Don't get me wrong, I loved my Mech Warrior. But this Gundam-esque kind of, mm, I don't know. It looks. It's not my style, but I mean, it looks kind of fun. I don't know. I'd
Okay.
have to wait and
All
see.
right. All right, next game I actually do have a little bit of thoughts on, which is Panzer Dragoon. And this is an interesting game because I actually played the original Panzer Dragoon on the Sega Saturn back when I was a kid. So now a remake's being made, and it looked pretty cool. Something that stood out to me is that like the original Panzer Dragoon on the Sega Saturn had like a really wobbly camera that made it felt like you were actually riding a dragon, and there's no wobbly camera in the new game. I mean, I'm sure the game's fine, but that was like the first thing that struck out to me the moment I realized it's Panzer Dragoon. It's like, wait, no weird wobbly camera. But I may pick this one up, actually. It looks fun.
I thought this was really cool. When I saw the trailer, I mean, it didn't give the name until after, so I was like, no way, is that Panzer Dragoon? And then it actually was. And I was like, well, I wasn't expecting that. Yeah, that's really neat. And it doesn't say much about, like, is it a full-on retail game, or is it, like, a cheaper download title? That will probably determine whether or not I get it, but interesting.
Never played Panzer Dragoon. Never owned a Sega Genesis. I wanted to, but didn't happen. And
Yeah.
I've never played the original. It looks okay, I guess, but again, it's kind of one of those games that look like a cash grab to me. It's just a remake. It looks thrown together. It doesn't look like it could be its full potential. I don't know, but I'd have to see the gameplay. I mean, I see a dragon shooting things and then flying around. Okay.
Yeah. All right, so next game got a little bit of a notice at E3 and a little bit of news, but not too much more extra. It's Pokemon Sword and Shield, the new Pokemon game on the Nintendo Switch. And I guess I haven't shared any thoughts about this, but as somebody who's gotten back into Pokemon thanks to Pokemon Go and Pokemon Let's Go, I'm looking forward to actually getting back into playing Pokemon games. And the new one looks pretty cool. So I'm about to say I don't have much else to say other than I'll probably end up picking Sobble as a starter. So we'll see.
I think there's a controversy going on right now that it's been discovered you're not going to be able to transfer Pokemon from other games to the new one
Oh,
unless it's like one of the
okay.
specific few who are selected from the past generations to be in the new Pokedex or something like that. Uh,
Oh,
so
dang.
yeah, that's happening right now. I've played so much Pokemon over the years that I mean, like it sounds like you kind of got out of it for a while and now you're getting back in. But in my
I
case,
went
oh sorry.
I went from Pokemon Yellow to Pokemon Go.
Okay.
That's like 20 years without
Well,
Pokemon.
see, I went all the way up to black and white, and it was in that generation that I started to think, it's kind of samey. So I haven't really played much Pokemon since then. But I mean, yeah. So for someone like you who hasn't really played it too much in the last couple decades, I understand wanting to get back into it.
Okay, do you guys really want my thoughts or do you want my other thoughts?
Well, so see, I feel like I'm being cynical. So if you come in and just destroy the game, I can feel better about myself. So please proceed.
All right, so here's my thoughts. First question. Is this the first Pokemon game that's kind of in that third person back view?
Yes?
Okay, because there was a big whoop-de-doo about it, like, hey, we want a full 3D Pokemon game. That was kind of the major thing. You guys remember that? Kerfuffle, I'll call it. A couple months ago, a year ago, everybody was like, why haven't you made a 3D Pokemon game? Oh my god, make a 3D Pokemon game. That's what we all want. I mean, the technology can support it now. Why do we need all this, crappy low-res crap? And I'm watching. I don't get this. Why is there a person on a floating bike? What is that? It's like it's a bike, but then it loses its puff things, and then it's a bike. Like what the fuck is that? Anyway, I if anybody has heard me talk about Pokemon before, which is probably pretty rare, and you'll have to go back in a long video, probably of Yoshi's Island of some sort.
Huh.
My thoughts on Pokemon have been: I haven't played Pokemon since Gold and Silver. I refuse to play any of the new ones because I don't really care for the system that they've implemented and the fact that they've, had to cater to the tournament crowd and nerf certain things and nerf certain functions. It's just, no. I used to have the 151 memorized,
Hmm.
and then I was starting to memorize Gold and Silver, and no, I've always been, and I'll hold it dear to my heart. I've always been a Gen 1 and a Gen 2 fan. Anything past that, it just never hit home with me. I grew up, I got too old. I'm sorry, I'm not interested in Pokemon Go. I'm not interested in this Pokemon game. It looks fun. It looks really weird. I'm glad they finally hit the 3D aspect of it. However, I would be very curious how I see it plays out because looking at the world, I'm not seeing random Pokemon how you encounter them, at least when I'm just quick
Ah,
clicking through this. So that means, are you able to see all of them roaming around in there, or is it still going to be the random encounter? My guess would be it's still going to be the random encounter because that takes up a lot of memory having like all these freaking Pokemon in the area. Think of it like Skyrim. You have to render the whole thing. I think they're not going to want to do that because the Switch just doesn't have the resources for it. I think it is going to be the random encounter thing, and that's going to depend how annoying that's going to get in a 3D world. I am concerned about that just because Pokemon inherently by nature making it 3D like that from a third person perspective, that's going to be tough. It's going to need a lot of balance. It looks gorgeous though. I love the animation. I'm looking at this Arcanine huge ass statue with a Steelix. Um, like the animation. But that's about all my thoughts on it are at the moment.
okay. Yeah, they did the whole like Pokemon appear in the wild in Pokemon Let's Go, but across the trailers, it looks like this game's going to be more traditional with wild encounters. And one of my coworkers is really into Pokemon and was mentioning how he wants the wild encounters back instead of the Pokemon roam around the overworld thing.
See, I'm the
I'm
opposite.
okay
I
with that.
think that Pokemon being visible on the overworld was one of the best things that the Let's Go games did, because it's just cool. I mean, this world is supposed to be populated with Pokemon, so walking around and actually seeing those Pokemon moving about and living is really cool. It's not, it's so much more fun than just, oh, there's the grass, the screen's flashing again, what's it going to be this time? So I think it's disappointing that that's not coming back because of the way that the camera is situated now. As Evilpoptart said, it would definitely be a lot more difficult to render as many Pokemon on the screen, where when it's kind of the top-down view, the Pokemon that need to be rendered on screen at one time is very minimalized. But yeah, overall, like Jim said, or like Evil Pop said, it's just another Pokemon game. And again, I had the 151 memorized as well. The series kind of getting stale, I feel, since then. But again, for someone who hasn't been playing it as long as Evil Poptart and I, it probably doesn't seem stale to them. So I hope that they have fun with it.
All right, thanks. I'm going to quick go over a couple of these because I don't have any thoughts on them. I'm just going to name them off, and if you two have any thoughts, shoot. First one, Astral Chain. Any thoughts?
No.
Okay. Empire of Sin, a John Romero baby, which is interesting to see, but otherwise I don't have any thoughts. Trailer was cool, though. It was set, like, the game itself is set, like, in a mafia-style Chicago, and that's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
Top-down view. I'm just quickly scrolling through it here. I mean, I'm a big fan of John Romero, so I guess depending on, I don't know, no comments on it. It looks meh.
Okay. Cadence of Hyrule, which is apparently a mod of Crypt of the Necro Dancer, is what I understand. The game actually should be launching. It might be
Ooh,
up by the time I get this video up.
giggity! I did hear that through the grapevine.
So
I don't know. I don't like the grid mechanic. I was curious until I saw this grid hopping thing, and it's like people say that Star Tropics is an awkward game because of how you're stuck to this grid. Well, this is no different. You're literally bouncing along tiles on the ground. Like it looks really awkward. So I don't know. Maybe if I tried it, if there's like a demo or something, I could feel it out, and maybe it wouldn't be so bad. But I don't know. Watching the trailer, it just looks kind of uncomfortable to play.
Well, I actually own Crypt of the Necro Dancer,
Mm-hmm.
and I found it very, very intriguing and very, very fun.
Okay.
I would have to hang on. I'm flipping through it here. I mean, you got to. It's very hard. It's not so much about the grid. It's so much about listening to the music and dancing, and sometimes it gets kind of muddled. I guess it's very difficult, but I can see where the two kind of combine. I would have to see how it plays out because how Crypt of the Necrodancer is, it's very.
I guess I just don't know enough about the base material, so I'd have to look into that
yeah.
first.
Tell you
Okay.
what, I could give you my Steam account and let you log into my Crypt of the Necrodancer and see if you like it or not.
Oh, you don't have to do that. I can probably find a demo or something like that somewhere.
It's
Okay.
actually fairly cheap now on GOG, I believe. Crypt of the Necrodancer is super cheap, so something to
Okay.
look up. But
All right. Well, guys, we got 3 games and Smash remaining. And they're going to be games that we're probably all going to have thoughts about. Are you ready?
do it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we got the trailer for the new Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games. I really haven't played any of the Mario Sonic Olympic games, but this one looks pretty cool. So the trailer had Yoshi riding on a skateboard at one point, and I thought that looked pretty neat.
Mm-hmm. My fear is, I mean, it's probably going to be a full-priced Switch game, which in Canada, that's like $80. And I don't know if I want to pay
It's
$80
gonna just cost
for it.
more
And the
for
problem
you,
is
Andrew.
that Nintendo games like never go on sale. So, I don't know. I'd probably pay like 50 for it.
My thoughts? It's an
All right.
It's an Olympic game.
Okay.
Just no.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Snooze.
All right. And then we got Animal Crossing New Horizons. This is another one of those games where maybe I'm going to shock people by saying I've never played an Animal Crossing game.
Oh my God! I'm gonna murder you. You will not leave your house.
My situation's not quite the same as yours, but it's similar. I have tried to play a number of Animal Crossing games, and I didn't particularly enjoy them because I'm not much of a simulator thing. I'm not much of a, get your own farm, get your own house, build up your town, build up your property kind of person. I'm not so into those games. So as good as Animal Crossing probably is, it just does not suit my particular interests. I didn't think I don't know. There's just something about this Animal Crossing game. I was kind of surprised by the way it looked. Like, it doesn't look like a Switch game. The way it's so zoomed in and stuff. I don't know if it's just the trailer, but I don't know. I was a little not so impressed by how it looked for some reason. But I guess I'm just not, the big Animal Crossing expert. So maybe the people who are super into it will be really happy with it. I don't know. But that was just my impression.
All right.
Well,
then.
with Animal Crossing, I mean, that zoomed in look is kind of part of how it was even on the GameCube. I mean, I can understand that. I mean, I think on the either one of the Game Boy Advance ones or Game Boy SP ones, they did zoom it out a little bit. That's gonna be a full title, but it looks good. I mean, I was a fan of the one on GameCube. I actually really got into it with my person I was seeing at the time, and Tom Nook can go eat a bag of carrots. And obviously you can substitute the word carrots for something else because, yeah, he can swindling bastard.
He shows up at the end of the trailer being like, hey, you went on your vacation to your island, which is like one of the big gimmicks of the game, and now you owe me a bunch of bells.
Reminds me of, what was that? In the Spyro game? Moneybags.
Moneybags is awesome.
He's freaking the Moneybags of the animal world, and yeah.
Okay. Well, actually, let's just make a quick detour because they also showed quick things about other games coming to the Switch, and one of them is actually they're bringing the Spyro Reignited trilogy to Switch and PC, so I'm definitely gonna get it on Switch.
Oh my God, I was playing it. You cannot tear me away from the Reignited trilogy. It is a masterpiece. It is good. Yes. Definitely pick it up. Finally,
all right.
Sony can go fly a kite and now release it on other platforms. But I have one qualm. It needs to be released on PC!
It will be released on PC with the Switch. The release date's going to be September 3rd.
It is actually, somebody blew the lid off of that like 3 months ago. I forgot what website leaked it, but somebody leaked it, and they said it was on the Switch and it was going to be on the PC. And then it mysteriously got taken off. It was on an EU website. They accidentally put it up. So I kind of knew that already. It was confirmed, but they put that back in the pot when that lid kind of blew open.
All right. So, before we get to Smash, we'll save Smash for last. There was a teaser that The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is getting a sequel. We got 20 seconds of visual cutscene, which looks pretty stunning. This looks like it's going to be like the Majora's Mask of Breath of the Wild. And I saw that comment a couple of times online. I'm excited.
Shit, I'm going to have to buy a Switch now.
Hey, the game only just got teased. You have 2 to 3 years.
Yeah, I feel that too. Zelda games always seem to take a long time after they're teased. So,
well, that kind of brings me back where that when I bought the Wii U, I only bought it for Hyrule Warriors, Kirby, and and then I'm like, oh look, Breath of the Wild is going to be out there. Good, I don't have to spend $200 on another damn console when I just bought this one for $200, and I'll like it on the Wii U, which I really do. I'm not a big fan of the Switch controls for it, and I've seen gameplay and I played it on the Switch. I really, really much prefer it on the Wii U version, and actually a couple other people will agree with me on that. I don't know anybody in the comment section will, but there is a portion of individuals out there that think the Wii U version is actually superior than the Switch version,
Huh.
which there are contrasting compares for it. I mean, I've looked it up. I actually prefer it on the Wii U, even though yes, the gamepad is kind of gimmicky. Yes, it's got upgrades. It's got other things that the Wii U version didn't have, but I don't know. For some reason, I just like playing it on the Wii U, even if I just have to use the Wii U Pro controller, which I'm totally fine doing. The game actually is a lot better on that Pro controller.
Okay. All right, and last but not least, at the beginning of the Direct and at the end of the Direct, they had Smash DLC Fighter announcements, and I feel like whenever there's a Smash DLC announcement, it's like the actual announcement in the trailer is more exciting than the product, because they put so much damn effort into the trailers. But the first reveal was for, to my understanding, correct me on this one, Higsby, please, it's to the Dragon Quest games, the hero character from those games. Like, you could play as, like, a lot of the heroes from Dragon Quest games.
That's the impression that I got. I'm not the Dragon Quest expert. So what I got from that was that I think like the different skins for the character are different main characters from various Dragon Quest games. I think that's what they were getting at. And yeah,
Okay.
so
It was a decent trailer, but I was also like, I've never played Dragon Quest, so sorry, this still doesn't interest me. But then at the end of the Direct, they showed Duck Hunt Dog. Yes!
yes,
Oh, wait. All right, actually, that was Banjo-Kazooie.
that was a really good teaser, and
Yes,
I wasn't.
yes, it was.
Apparently, there was like a big spoiler going around that this was going to happen, which I had not heard. So I was totally shocked.
Neither
by
had
it.
I. Neither had I. This completely came out of left field, and like I watched the Direct while I was at work for lunch, and like they was like, oh hey, another Smash Bros character, great. And then I see the puzzle piece flying over in front of Donkey Kong and King K. Rool, and I'm like, oh my gosh, are they actually announcing Banjo-Kazooie? And it's like the exact same trailer format as the King K. Rool announcement. And I was like, yes, Duck Hunt Dog. Perfect.
I didn't.
I think their reactions do the same. You got Diddy Kong and K. Rool, and they're like, "What?" And they got the weird facial expressions. I thought that was fun.
But yeah, when it comes to Smash Bros, not long ago, I actually worked nice and hard with Higsby here to unlock all the characters. We just played a whole bunch of matches against each other on my copy of the game, and it took a while to unlock all the characters. And I need to go back to Smash Bros Ultimate and complete World of Light, but oh my gosh, I can't imagine getting through single player with all the characters, and yet there's more characters that you have to pay money for.
I guess that means there'll probably be Banjo-Kazooie themed spirits and stuff too, which that's pretty cool.
Ooh,
The Banjo-Kazooie
ooh.
levels look fun with Grunty's castle. I think that looks kind of fun. That was teased in the trailer I just saw. So, and then Grunty herself flies around. So,
Oh yeah. So yeah, to all the Smash Bros. Fans out there, let's hope that Banjo-Kazooie is really good. I'm not sure if I'm going to end up picking up any of the Smash DLC, but I gotta say, Banjo-Kazooie is actually really tempting, even if I only use them once or twice.
well, it depends if he's a lightweight or a middleweight. I mean, it looks like he's going to be a middleweight. So, who knows?
Well, we'll see. Anyway, that was our thoughts on the Direct. Is there anything you guys wanted to cover before I gave my closing thoughts and basically announce where I've been?
I'm good.
Higsby?
It's kind of par for the course as far as E3's been lately. It's not the amazing event that it was 5-10 years ago, but for those of you who who are looking forward to things like Animal Crossing and Fire Emblem, I suppose it was a good day. But for me, the guy who wants more like Wario Land and such, left stuff to be desired.
There we go. Watch, for the next DLC character, they're going to run the exact same Donkey Kong trailer reveal, except it's going to be Wario as the fake character.
I mean, I'll kind of put my sentiments in too, along with Higsby on this, just because, yes, I'm not very much of a Nintendo person, but I mean, there were a couple good titles in there. But I feel the state of the industry is doing a lot of these remakes, and again, the cash grab is real, and I think some of these are banking on cash grabs, and I don't know, it's tough to say where it's going to end up going because. Mm, I agree with Higsby. Like it's not the event that it was 10 years ago. There was, good titles, hit after hit, but a lot changes in 10 years. The industry has definitely changed, and I just think not. It's not going to be there. It's not going to be this wow factor. You're not going to have these, spectacular, stunning titles. I mean, the really, really big reveal out of there, in my opinion, was the Breath of the Wild sequel. But you knew that was going to happen. I mean, come on. Oh, I forgot the statistics on how many units of Breath of the Wild sold on the Switch and the Wii U. And after they, decided to not, produce the Wii U version anymore because everybody was buying it on there first, and then they killed the sales on that by, limiting that production. But I digress. Regardless, Breath of the Wild sold really, 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 really well. They would be really, really, really stupid if they didn't make a freaking sequel. I mean, come on.
Oh yeah.
And
Oh yeah.
obviously with the Ganon skeleton and how, Ganon's corpse apparently is back. So, I mean, that's my take of what that skeleton was in the trailer. I mean, hello, it's Ganon's corpse. By the way, he looks really cool as a corpse. He doesn't look that cool when he wakes up though.
Okay. Well, that was mainly our thoughts. I mean, E3 ultimately is like a giant commercial anyway, but I mean, marketers put so much gosh darn effort into the advertisements, everything. Once again, I think all the Smash Bros. Trailers are almost better than the characters themselves. So, I would like to just quick go over where has Milesluigi been, because I've disappeared off the face of the planet and did one stream on Puyo Puyo back in April, so you might be wondering that. And the honest answer is that I really needed to take a break. There were a lot of days heading into the beginning of 2019 when it was winter where honestly I was feeling really down, and I would just go home, sleep, wake up, go to work, go home, sleep, get up, go to work. Sometimes I'd binge watch YouTube, and I've actually learned it's kind of like a little niche of mine that if I start binge watching YouTube, it's usually a sign that I'm feeling down and I should probably stop binge watching YouTube. YouTube's too darn addicting, and I'm fueling your addiction. But I just want to let you guys know that if I'm not quite sure how quickly I'm going to get this video up, but Evilpoptart and I, we are going to be getting back into doing Doom streams. We're going to be starting with Sigil, which is John Romero's custom Doom WAD. That's an unofficial sequel to the original Doom, and I guess prequel to Doom 2 in that regard. So look forward to that. I'm definitely going to be working more with Higsby as well, because we're going to be working on some stuff with Mario Maker 2. I plan on streaming that a whole bunch, and that's going to be a whole lot of fun. And not quite sure exactly what else I'll do up ahead. I suppose with all the E3 news, some of the new games, we may be playing those on stream, but you guys can look forward to me getting back into that with the face cam and the backdrop and all that stuff and a cat and everything. And just wanted to give a major thanks to both you guys, both Higsby and Evilpoptart. They're really awesome friends, and they're also really awesome best men for my wedding.
Well, thank you. We appreciate it. We definitely had a lot of fun with that. We had a great time. We got a lot of good pictures, and definitely something that I'll always treasure and remember because that was kind of an event. It's one of those one-time events.
It was an absolute honor. Thank you for allowing us to be a part of that, and it was just fantastic. And again, we'll always remember that. Thank you.
All right. Well, with that said, guys, I'm going to let everybody go and enjoy your merry day. Unless anyone has any closing thoughts, this has been Milesluigi.
I have one closing thought as the Evilpoptart. I just thought about it. I got a new character for Smash.
What's that?
We're putting Bobbery in it. It's gonna happen.
Bobbery. All right.
Are you kidding? They don't even acknowledge any Paper Mario characters who aren't Toads anymore.
I know, but Meta Knight, maybe, but Bobbery. Bobbery would be a good character.
A new Paper Mario game would be a good thing, but I mean,
yes, definitely.
Yeah, there is no Paper Mario this direct.
How about no Metroid Prime 4? I guess it's still Retro Studios is putting out the fire still, I guess.
Yeah.
What was it, 2 or 3 years ago now it was announced? And nothing.
It was announced, and then all of a sudden there was the announcement that, we're starting over.
And then it faded into obscurity. So yeah, probably people have forgotten about it by now.
It's really curious. I mean, I think we've had this discussion. This is how long Metroid Prime 4 has been in development now. But we had the discussion about just what the heck was Retro Studios even up to if they weren't working on Metroid Prime 4. Because the only thing they've released lately is Tropical Freeze plus Funky Kong. I don't think that took like 5 years to make.
It took 5 years to make Funky Kong.
Oh boy.
All right, and once again, I'm not quite sure how the videos will be ordered, but I know Higsby, you on your channel are doing an E3 response as well, and I'm going to have that linked in the description. And if I remember how YouTube works here, I probably forgot how YouTube works.
Click the
But
doobly-doo.
go check out his response. Yes, click the doobie-doo.
Thank you very much. My favorite part about that is when I put footage of Luigi's Mansion 3 right beside Luigi's Mansion 1 footage and compare the artistic style from one to the other. So if that's the kind of thing you would be interested in seeing, please check that out. Thank you very much, Milesluigi.
Yep. All right, we're signing out. Have a good night, everybody.
Later.
See ya.